Hello my friends. So what we're going to do today is we are going to make a butterfly. Okay, so this butterfly is going to be special because after you're done making, it's going to fly. So let's see what are the things that we need to make this butterfly. Okay, you need paper, half of a big normal paper. So if you're using printer paper, half of that. You need two different straws. So what you need to keep in mind is one straw should be smaller than the other. So you should be able to go through the bigger one. The smaller one should be able to go through the bigger one. And then you need some sticky tape, scissors, marker, and some coloring material like crayons or markers. Okay, so some of you may not have straw, like two different size straw at home, or you may not be a person who don't have straw at home at all. So what you can do is you can make your own straw. If you have a strip of paper, let me see if I can show you. I'm going to show you guys how to make a straw with this small piece of paper. Okay, so we need a rectangular piece like that, and then you are going to take something that is cylindrical like that. A pencil will work. You're going to roll this paper like that, and then can you see when you reach here, you can add some glue and then glue it down and then press onto it for some time, and then you will end up having, when you remove this, you will have a straw because we didn't put the glue. It's coming out. So let me to make it quick, let me put the sticky tape and show you guys. Okay, so but this paper that you use should not be this small, because then you'll have a small straw. We need normal size. It should be as long as your pencil. Okay, the length of the paper should be as long as your pencil. So I'm going to put the sticky tape here instead of putting the glue so that we can quickly make a straw, and I can show you. Can you see the straw? Okay, so that is how you can make straw if you are if you don't have straw at home. So use maybe marker or something. So if you are making both the straws, don't use the same pencil to make both the straws because it would be the same size, right? We need one to be big and one should be able to go inside the other one. So maybe use a thicker pencil or a marker or something else. Okay, so the next thing that you need to do if you're using a printer paper is, so the paper I'm using is as thick as the paper that we use in school. We need it to be that thick for this to work well. So what you should do is, so suppose you are using one whole printer paper, right? So to one half of the paper you add some glue and put the other half on top, and then press it down, and then you will have a thick paper this like this. Okay, this size, this is the size that we need. Okay, so then after you're done with that, you're going to fold the paper one more time. Okay, now we are ready to make the butterfly. In case you're making using a thick paper, you don't have to glue two papers together. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to find the side that has the fold. Okay, we are going to start drawing from the fold. I'm going to make a rectangle. Okay, this side of the rectangle I don't have to draw. This side of the rectangle. Okay, so then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make the butterfly's wings. You can make the butterfly's wings as you want. Okay, so I'm going to just make it this way. Okay, then I'm going to make an antenna. So when you're making the antenna, it's not going to be one single line, we need 2 lines so that you will be able to color in, and then it will be easy for you to cut. Okay. And then I'm going to, so I made 2 curvy lines and I made a circle thing on top. Okay, now you can add the details inside this one. I'm just going to, so it's up to you how or what details you're adding. I'm just adding some random shapes, whatever is. So make some smaller shapes around the butterfly. Around the bigger shape, you can add more shapes. You can add as much detail as you want. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to. Okay, maybe I'll make the lines thick. I should. Once you're done making the shape, you can go ahead color the butterfly's wings. Okay, so for that you can use crayons, markers, color pencils if that is what you have at home. Whatever material you have, you can use that. I don't know if there is a butterfly that has things like this. This is the second time I'm making this butterfly. The first time I made the video, the paper was thin and it was not working that well. So I'm actually super tired making the second butterfly. So I'm just going with some. Okay. I'm just making it thick lines to make my butterfly look nice. So don't make the shapes super complicated. The reason is you need to, after you cut, you need to do the same thing on the other wing also. Okay, so that's why I'm just sticking to the simplest one. Or if you have time, lots of time. I know we all have lots of time now. You can go ahead, make it as complicated as you can add as many details as you want if you have all the time in the world. Okay, I'm going to make this line a little bit thicker so that way it will look like, it will look nicer. Because butterflies usually have like nice thick lines on them, right? So that's the reason why I'm trying to do that. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to cut this butterfly out, because we started from the folded side. We are going to get one whole butterfly, not half of a butterfly. I'm cutting next to the line. Not, or you can cut on the line also, it doesn't matter. Cut. So in case I'm going super fast, what you can do is pause the video and finish what you're doing and then unpause, and then once you catch up, you can unpause and then watch the rest. Okay. Or what you can do is watch the whole video first without doing it along with me. And then once you know how it is done, you can do this all by yourself, or you can watch this, do this along with me after you are done watching the first time. So see what happened. I made this, this side is done, but this side has to be completed, right? So I'm going to open this up and then mimic the lines that I made on this one. So there is one trick that you can do to to get the exact same lines on the other side, what you should do is take this, put it like this, and then take it to the window, and then put this on the window, the glass of the window, and then you will be able to see the lines really well, and then you'll be able to trace. So I don't want to take it to the window and then come trace and then come back. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to mimic this by looking at that. Okay, because my shapes are not that complicated, I will be fine. So then I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side. Butterflies are symmetrical, right? So we need to make these things look symmetrical. Okay, I'm going to speed up. Okay. Then I'm going to make those lines a little bit thicker, just like I did on this side, so that it looks like a coloring book. Have you seen on a coloring book, the lines are super thick, and when you color inside, it'll look nice. That's the look I'm going for. Or maybe like the glass paintings, they also have thick lines, and the colors are inside the thick black lines. I like that look also, so I want my lines to be super thick. Usually on this side there are lines outside also, because that was the outline. It's not on this one, right? So I'm using matte on my table because I'm using the permanent marker. I don't want the lines to get on the table. You should be using a scrap paper or something under your table when you are working, like some artwork or something, so that you don't spoil your stuff. Okay, or in case you get something on it, see that you clean up after you're done doing art. Okay, I hope you clean up your workspace after each art project. So I'm going to make this line also thick, and I think I can now start painting or coloring it in. So I'm going to take crayons, or should I use markers? Maybe I'll use markers this time, because my dear marker, come to me. What colors should I use? Should I use the normal orange and black color that you see on monarch butterfly? Maybe I'll use purple and yellow, purple and orange, purple and yellow. I don't want it to be the same. Like, let me use the thick side of the crayon, not the crayon, the marker, and then color it super quick. This side also. You can color this with whatever coloring material you have at home. Okay, I'm just using marker right now, because when I made the first butterfly, I used crayon, and for coloring with crayon, you need to push a little bit harder, right? So I was using all my strength, and I'm like out of any strength now. I need maybe rest for some time before I color with crayons again. I'm not going like this. Do you notice that? Because I want my colors to look nice. So I'm going in one direction, making lines next to each other so that it looks nice. Especially if you're using markers, it would be a good idea to use permanent markers if you have permanent markers at home. Otherwise, the colors are going to spread. So let me show you if you work with. Maybe you guys already know. So suppose I have shape like that, and then I'm using markers. See, does it look it is spreading. The black is spreading. That's the reason you should be using a permanent marker to outline if you are going to color with the markers. But if you're coloring with crayon, it is fine. So in case you used a regular black marker to outline, you better stay inside the lines, don't touch the black part, or use crayon or color pencils, okay? That is the tip for the day. That is one reason we use permanent markers more in school when we are coloring with this. Or if you're using watercolor to color your butterfly, then also you're going to have a problem because the color is going to spread. Okay, now let's color the antenna. What color should I give the antenna? Maybe I will color the antenna black. My butterfly, you are looking nice. It's always, you should always feel proud of your work, right? You should never say, oh, I don't like the way I do this. It is your work. Always give your best shot, try your best, and then be happy with what you have. Okay, I'm going to color the bigger area. Maybe I should have used a different color. It's okay. With the crayon so that it is faster. But crayons, if you don't push hard, it won't be that colorful. Anyway, the background doesn't need to be that colorful. That's why I'm using the crayons right now. The markers are like scented markers, and this is smelling like blueberry. Blueberry. And my daughter was like, I think first grade or something. She had the scented markers, and then I used to love coloring with her markers. Now I have a set of scented markers from, like, I got it from the school. All the teachers were given some scented markers at the beginning of the school year. So I have some scented markers, and so now I get to play with my own scented markers. I don't have to borrow it from my daughter. But the smell is a little too strong. Maybe I like my normal markers better now. Okay, so I'm done coloring this thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this fellow, fold it inwards like that. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this wing and fold it along this line. Did you see how I folded this one? Yeah. Now turn it around, turn this wing out, and then fold it on this line. Now same thing with this side. Okay, so you have this thing ready. I'm just unfolding not the petal, this thing also out. Now let's make him fly. For that, you're going to take your straw, the paper straw, or the other straw, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take the scissors and then make a slit on the straw. So I made a slit on this side. Can you see that slit? And on the opposite side, I'm going to make another slit. I cut on both the thing. Okay. Now I'm going to put this thing through this like that. So this first straw, the small straw, this is a small straw that I made the slit and I'm putting it on, okay? So the small straw should go all the way to the fold, all the way to the body. So I'm going to put a sticky tape to hold this straw onto the body of the butterfly, okay? On both the sides. Don't forget to put on both the sides. So after you're done gluing down this one, we are going to cut the bigger straw. You need to trim a bit from the bottom. It should be like this, this is the length it should be, like compared to the smaller straw. The big straw should be like this much shorter. So trim off some of it, and then you're going to cut it in the middle like that. Okay, so you have two parts. If your straw, my straw is like super thick, not that flexible, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim a little bit off from the sides like that, and from this side also. So I cut out like a little bit to make it more flexible. Okay, so once you're done with that, the next thing that you do is you are going to insert the small straw through the big straw. Okay, and now last time we taped the straw, the small straw onto the body. Now this time it should be taped to the wings. The bigger straw should be taped to the wing. So it's now almost there to the wing. I'm going to take some sticky tape. And then tape it well. So once you're done with that, what you're going to do is you're going to push the small straw upwards. Okay, first time you'll need to help this out. You need to see what I'm doing. I am bending this outwards like that. Got it? Maybe you can spread out the antenna also like this. And then, so what you need to do now to make this butterfly fly is you need to just push this smaller straw up like that, and then it will start fluttering. Okay, that's how we do it. Okay, got it? Bye-bye.